Chapter 4. The Importance of Ikram in Tabligh. This chapter concerns another very important requirement for Tabligh, which, through a little carelessness of the preachers, can do harm instead of good. For instance, in trying to prevent someone from wrongdoing or saving him from a bad habit, you should advise him privately, and not openly disgrace him in the eyes of others. The dignity of a Muslim is a valuable asset, as explained in the following sayings of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. An Abi Hurayrata marfu'an an satara la muslimin satarahu lahu fi dunya wal akhirati wallahu fi awne akhihi, narrated by Muslim and Abu Dawood and Gairam Hama. It's been narrated by Abu Hurairah, God be pleased with him, that whenever the exemplar prophet, divine contact upon him in wholeness, said, "Whoever conceals the sins of a Muslim, God will conceal his sins in this world and in the hereafter. And God helps his servant so long as he helps his brother Muslim." Did not move my foot when I got it against this thing here. Anne Abne Abbasin marfu'an an satara awrata akhihi satara lahu awratahu yamal qiyamati wa man kashafa awrata akhihi muslime kashafa lahu awratahu hatta yaftahahu biha fi baytihi, narrated by Ibn Majah. It has been reported by Ibn Abbas, God be pleased with him, that whenever the exemplar prophet, divine contact upon him and holiness, said, "Whoever conceals the wrongdoings of a brother Muslim, God will conceal his wrongdoings on the day of rising, and whoever publicizes the wrongdoings of a brother Muslim, God will disclose his wrongdoings to the people, so much that he will be disgraced sitting in his own house." Note: similarly, there are many other traditions on the subject. Therefore, the preachers of Islam should always have great regard for ignoring the faults and maintaining the respect of brethren in Islam. Another hadith says, "Who does not help his brother Muslim when he is being dishonored, God will not pay attention to him when he himself is badly in need of help." Still another hadith says, "The worst form of usury is dishonoring a Muslim." In numerous traditions like this, the dishonoring of a Muslim has been strictly forbidden. Therefore, the Islamic workers should be partially cautious on this subject. The correct method is to advise people secretly on the sins that come to knowledge secretly, and take the corrective measures openly on the sins that are committed openly. Even the advice should be given in such a manner that the sinner is not dishonored, lest the advice produces the opposite effect. As opposed to the way we deal with crime and stuff in this society, embarrass people and dehumanize them, and then we act like, In short, the wrongdoers must be checked strictly according to the commandments of Allah. But let us not forget the instructions given above to respect the honor of every Muslim. Moreover, a preacher must be respectful and kind when he addresses his audience, for ill temper and bitter words have just the opposite effect. A preacher spoke harshly to the Caliph Mamun al-Rashid. He said, "Please be respectful and kind to me, for Firaun was a worse fellow than me, and Musa alayhi salam was a much better person than you." But when he and Harun alayhi salam were sent to instruct Firaun, Allah said, "Faqul." Yeah. Let me say that again. Surah 20, ayat 44. Faqullahu qawlan la'allahu yatadhakkaru aw yakhsha. Speak to him in soft words, that he may turn to the right path, or perchance he may fear me. A youth from the outlying regions came to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and said, "Please permit me to commit adultery." The Sahaba of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam took this very seriously and were very angry at his words. But the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to him, "Come nearer to me. Would you like anyone to commit adultery with your mother?" He said, "Not at all." The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Then the other people will also never tolerate such a shameful act with their mothers." Then the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked him the same question about his sister, aunt, etc., and he answered each time in the negative. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam put his hand on his chest and prayed, "O Allah, purify his heart, forgive his sins, and guard him against adultery." Now, when we say Allahumma, or in Aramea, if we say Alhim or Aluhim, we still mean God. So, "O God, purify his heart, forgive his sins, guard him against adultery." So, Allah would be the singular and definitive, which is, of course, who we mean. The reporters say that after this, nothing was more hateful to him than adultery. Well, sex outside of marriage is, I think, the word here used. To be brief, preachers should always be kind, humble, and sympathetic toward their listeners, and should treat them as they would like to be treated.